Alright guys, welcome back to Elsewhere High. Getting off the bus. Welcome to Elsewhere High. This is it. So yeah, this is Elsewhere. Why the hell is it called Elsewhere? If you want, I'll give you a minute to... Hey, Soph! He infiltrated the conversation with a distinct punch of pep. His voice was vibrant and fun, and he was undeniably handsome. Man, Derek was confident in his own looks, but he knew that his face was still young. But this guy, he looked distinguished, with his chiseled face and smart outfit. Derek couldn't help but blush with jealousy. Welcome back! How was the ride? With an inconspicuous flick of his finger, he dusted the ashes away from the tip of a cigarette he held. Hey, Vincent. It was fine. Great. And the new guy? Sophia gave a weak gesture towards Derek, and Vincent stuck his hand out to him. Hey, man. Derek took it. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. So, what do they call you, man? Oh, sorry, I'm Derek. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Vincent. Welcome aboard. Thanks. He wasn't even sure why, but Derek couldn't find his confidence. A little shy? Vincent pulled himself towards Derek and draped an arm around his neck. You won't be for long. Trust me, only way to not go crazy here is to make some friends fast. Derek wasn't sure what to say. Don't take it personally, Vince. He probably is just trying to not to vomit from your disgusting breath. Vincent unlatched himself from deck and raised a hand that held the cigarette. See this? This is my last cigarette ever. Yeah? So last week's last cigarette ever was just practice? Exactly. I had to know what this was going to feel like. Had to do a trial run. Uh-huh. Well, we'll see how long it takes for you to switch to pot or something. No way. This is for real. Besides, that stuff makes me antsy. Sophie stood a bit further from the two guys, and Vincent beckoned her closer. Anyways, how was the ride, man? Oh, it was good. You slept a lot for a lot of it. Oh, you guys sat together, did you? So you two already know each other? Well, not I want to know everything. What do you tell her? I hate feeling behind. Oh, Lord. My name's Derek, and we hate paying for shopping bags? Vincent interrupted into laughter. What? So you've burned through all the quality topics, I see. Well, geez, man, sorry about that. I mean, I know Soph can be cold, but I didn't think she'd stoop to talking about shopping bags. Sophie rolled her eyes and then gave a reluctant smile. Yeah, and Vincent here is totally known for his riveting conversations. Yeah, for some reason I'm hearing sarcasm here. He turned towards Derek. Derek, what do you want to do? Huh? We've probably got a few minutes before class starts. I don't know, we can do something, talk about something real. Soph can come too, I guess. He winked at her. Thanks, asshole. Derek looked around. Across the street from the school was an empty lot made of gravel. The school bus sat idle on the far side, but apart from there was nothing. Next to the school was some sort of business, and Derek could see a solid gray building in the distance. What's Kills? Ah, Kills! He's a student here. Runs something like a store in there. I mean, your options are pretty limited, but he gets an A for effort. Wait, what do you mean? It's just shit that he finds. It was an abandoned store when he got here, apparently, so he made that stupid sign and somehow convinced everyone that it would be a good idea. It's nothing to write home about. Hey, there's a hidden treasure in Kills. Don't listen to Sophie. She's a downer. Derek smiled with interest. Why? What did you find in there? Sophie chortled. Well, like I said, it's hidden treasure. Which is his way of saying he's found absolutely nothing of remote value in there. Wow, Sophie, you really need to work on your listening skills. I wouldn't have said hidden treasure if I'd already found the treasure. He laughed, ran his hand down his pulled back hair, threw a cigarette to the ground, snuffing it with the back of his boot. Last one, I swear. Well, good luck with that. I'm going to try to get to class early today. You can come if you want, Derek. Fuck it, let's stay with Vincent. I'm gonna wait for a bit. Yep, no worries. See you in class? For sure. Vincent looks pretty cool. She turned and walked away from the boys. Vincent waited a moment and spoke. Oh man, isn't she something? Huh? Oh, come on, you can't tell me you don't think Sophie's a bombshell. Huh, oh well, yeah, she's pretty. Vincent widened his eyes. What? Oh my gosh, I can't understand guys like you. She's 100% a 10. And you're like over here like, yeah, she's pretty. Screw off with that. She's unbelievable. Derek laughed. Alright. Are you gay? You're not gay, are you? What? Do you like dick? What? No! Okay. Then how are you not on board with this? Sophie's great. She's hot, yeah. I just don't know her that well. Jeez, calm down. Vincent paused to straighten the collar of his shirt and spoke softly. Yeah, whatever. Sometimes I get carried away. The pep in his voice returned. But it's not just about that. I have feelings for her. We'd be perfect together. You like her? What? Yeah, of course. Does she know? Ha, sorry. I just keep forgetting you're new. Yes, Sophie knows. Should have guessed you wouldn't be quiet about it. Derek gives Vincent a sly smirk. Exactly, I tell her every chance I get. And she's not biting? I don't know, Sophie's a closed book. I don't know how buddy-buddy you guys got on the bus, but you could probably tell that she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve. It's like buried in a pocket or something. Or in her chest. I was trying to stay in the context of a metaphor, thank you very much. Anyways, I have no idea how she feels. She hangs out with me. Not that there's much choice here, but she seems to enjoy our time together. Either that or she's really good at hiding her distaste for people. Distaste? It means, like, I know what it means. Just never really heard it used before. Hey, I say if you're gonna speak a language, speak it well. Words can be beautiful if you use them right. Huh. Never would have pegged you as the type. Vincent gestured his shoulder back towards the school, his eyes in yearning. Look at her. Derek turned around and followed Vincent's stare. At the front of the school sat Sophie, her hands folded, propping her head up. She was calm and alone. Vincent shook his head. Man, is she beautiful. Let's head in. Vincent led Derek toward the school. As they walked, the now common nervousness crept its way back into Derek's mind. His eyes searched for an escape, but found none. Instead, Derek's scrutiny of the schoolyard and its stale surroundings found its way to the gravel yard across the road. It was gray and desolate and offered no respite for Derek or his restless thoughts. While he had hoped that the emptiness would help to offer a sort of calming of the mind, Derek could see no exit from this loud excitement. He was worried and alone. Even though a body walked next to him, it was unfamiliar and new. He was welcoming this Vincent, and at least somewhat amicable, but Derek ached for the comfort of something recognizable, something warm. The building towered beside them. Derek felt as if it were watching him. You are not welcome here. Hey! Judging by Sophie's reaction, Derek wasn't sure who had been pulled from a deeper trance. She looked up to Vincent with a cold stare. Yes? You ready to head in? It's about time. Holy shit, haha! I got the cold shoulder achievement! Achievement! I got achievement! Don't let anyone tell you guys that I had a bad sense of timing. Literally no one has said that ever. Right, so in the future don't let anyone tell you that. Oh my lord. Sophie stood up. She didn't stretch, but it seemed to find comfort in her posture immediately. You ready, Derek? Yeah, time to meet the teach. Ready? He pushes the question out nervously. Sorry, there's nothing to be ready for. I just mean I didn't want to rush you. Oh yeah, I'm good. Let's go. He sounded much less confident than he had hoped to. Sophie turned and led them towards the door. She leaned her body against it and pushed her way into the school. With a quick nod of her head, she gestured the boys into the building. After you guys. Such a gentleman. Thanks, Soph. With her hands in her pockets, Sophie led the door slide shut and followed Derek into the hallways of Elsewhere High. We are inside the school. What terrible things are gonna happen to us. Looks pretty average. There was less than Derek had expected. He wasn't quite sure what, however. Less light, the colors of the room were notably muted, and it took Derek's eyes a moment to balance themselves. Less people, empty chairs dotted the room, almost teasing those who were there. These many people didn't screw up like you. The atmosphere in the room was alien to Derek, like so much else. He felt as if he was becoming used to feeling discomforted. It wasn't that he felt frightened or unsafe. The classroom gave him a peculiar sense that he couldn't quite define. Grab a seat, man. Anywhere? Yep, there's no seating plan or whatever. Oh, another unfamiliar feeling of needless disorganization. Derek sat down next to Vincent. Sophie followed and sat on the other side of Derek. Don't worry, we got you. She stiffened her lips into something of a smile. Vincent reached over to Derek between their desks and grabbed his arm, or tapped his arm. That's Teach up there. An older woman, middle-aged perhaps, sat at the front desk reading a book, a pen set nimbly in her hand, her grip loose and unsure, while her stare was resolute and focused. There was a welcoming air about her that calmed Derek. Looks can be deceiving. You don't have to worry about her. She's great. She can be mean, but just don't be an asshole and you'll never see that side of her. Fair enough. Yeah, don't be an asshole and they won't be an asshole to you. Sophie seemed to be rather alert. It was as if she was studying the room and nosed in it quite closely. Nobody has a bag. Like a backpack or a notebook or anything. They're kept in the classroom. Oh. Sophie's eyes never met Derek's when they spoke. He turned to Vincent to see him sitting limply in his chair. You alright? Vincent moaned. Ugh, yeah, just tired. Man, this is taking forever. We just got here. It's all relative, brother. There's nothing Vincent hates more than class. Students filed in slowly. Soon, one of them sat in front of Derek. His frame was tiny and his movements meek. Sophie grinned, leaned forward towards him, and used her slender finger to stab the back of his shoulder. Hey, Toby. He turned towards her. Oh, hey, Sophie. Toby. He spoke kindly, but sounded slightly confused. Sophie gestured towards Derek. This is Derek, the new guy Teach will be telling us about. Oh, Toby's eyebrows rose slightly and gave a timid smile. Oh, hi. I'm Toby. Nice to meet you. Thanks. Toby turned back to face the front of the classroom. Sophie leaned towards Derek and whispered. He's kinda shy. Newness never really sat well with Derek. You couldn't honestly say that he was overly welcoming of change. This newness was no different, but the accompanying feeling of burning apprehension and unease were heightened. This newness was a punishment, not a necessity. He brought the scrap of fear on himself. The walls seemed to close in on him. There was no room to breathe. And this is Ash. Huh? Derek looked towards Sophie and saw her gesturing to a girl sitting next to her. Derek had to crane his neck to see her. Hey, so you're Derek. Yeah. Hey. Cool, well, welcome. Derek nodded to her, but didn't reply. She seemed distant. Alright, holy crap. Hello, teacher. The teacher stood in front of her class, upright, and gave a subtle scratch to her scalp, finding her thoughts. Most of us seem to be here today. Has anyone seen Killian by chance? There's silence. Right. She sounds unimpressed, but not at all surprised. Matthias is, unfortunately, still feeling ill, so he won't be joining us today. She made some notes on a scrap of paper on her desk. But other than that, I think we can get started. As I'm sure you have noticed, we have a new student joining us today. I'd give a small introduction, but I wouldn't want to steal that opportunity from you, so why don't you come up here, up to the front, Derek? His eyes darted this way, and that, and his heart surged with sullen tempo. Yes, come on up, please. She gave him no room for choice, but spoke gregariously. It certainly wasn't her that terrified Derek, but the situation. Okay. He rose from his desk and carried himself to the front of the classroom. It felt like a placemat for the other students' stares. The teacher made space for him, moving to the side of the classroom and leaning against the wall. She waited patiently. Well, I could start. My name is Miss DuPont. I am, for now, the only teacher here at Elsewhere High, and I have been here since it opened 2 months ago. I come from Oregon. My favorite dessert is vanilla flan, and I have a long interest in Korean cinema. She smiled at Derek and nodded her head in encouragement. Something like that. Derek's hand found comfort in his pockets. Okay, my name's Derek. I just got here today. A low chuckle revved from the class, and it did well to settle him. I'm from Iowa, so it's nice to see other Asians for once. The classroom laughed again, and Vincent perked right up. I got your back, brother. Miss DuPont rolled her eyes and grinned in what might have been reluctant disapproval. I don't really like dessert. Ice cream is pretty good, I guess. And I've never seen a Korean movie. Although he gave a large shrug to mark the end of his introduction, Derek did feel a small seed of confidence. At least I made them laugh. Yeah, it's a good start. And what grade were you studying? 12th. Very good. Thank you, Derek. Do you have any questions for us? Are all of us seniors then? Does anyone want to answer that question for Derek? Toby? How about you give it a try? You can have a seat, Derek. As he tried not to rush back, Derek could see Toby shifting awkwardly in his seat. Derek is wondering if everyone here came from the 12th grade. How would he answer that? No, we didn't. Thank you, Toby. In the future, I would like to see some more elaboration, but thank you for answering Derek's question. Not all of you came from senior year, no. Some of you are younger than others, but and by we, I mean the founders of this institute, and myself, tried to install a very inclusive and accessible classroom setting. We focus on multi-approach teaching style. All of you are the teachers as much as myself. Seeing you or others invited to the front of the class to answer a question or form an opinion will be extremely common. Of course, I'm the teacher and therefore the overseer and organizer, but that by no means defines my knowledge as greater or better than yours. We all have something to learn from each other. I know this might sound odd to you, but I think most of your peers here today would agree that it takes a little time to get used to and creates a much more open environment. There is zero tolerance for any type of bullying or discrimination. I hope that above all else is clear. She made her way back to the front of the desk and set her body on it. Her posture was casual, her knees bent and her arms crossed. For some reason, it excited Derek. Maybe this will be all right. Miss DuPont took a contemplative moment. Okay, who would like to explain to Derek how we tend to start each day? Sophie adjusted her baseball cap. Was that a raised hand, Sophie? Just fixing my hat. But I'll go for it. Sophie turned and faced Derek, rather than offering her response to the teacher. We usually start every day with a critical thinking discussion. That's right. I appreciate it, Sophie. Thank you. Derek, each day we engage in a discussion topic. It's an open conversation. Raising your hand can be used as a form of organization, but generally we speak when we feel the need to add to the discussion. There is no goal to these discussions, or rather, there is no end goal. What we are attempting to do is to think critically about a subject or topic we might often give no thought to at all. It fascinates me, as I believe it does some of you as well, because often we see some of us leave the conversations with a completely new perspective on things. Stealing music. The class let out a low chuckle, as did Mrs. Dupont. Aha, exactly. What a great discussion that was. There was a sense of tentative camaraderie in the room, as if the jail that held everyone together and close could soften at any moment. Today's topic. She turned around and picked up a piece of chalk from the small shelf and began to write, speaking the words as she penned them. Is it immoral to lie? Placing the chalk back, she once again faced the classroom and leaned on her desk. And my response is, it depends on the lie. Depends on the lie. Depends on the lie and the reason. Is it immoral to lie? She let the question sit. Well, is it immoral to lie? What do you think? What do we think? Silence in the class didn't spawn from apathy, but rather contemplation. Alright, new guy. What do we think? Is it immoral to lie? No. No. And why? Her voice held no judgment towards his rather brash response. This is a safe place, Derek. Don't let preconceptions filter your thoughts. Think of yourself and then answer for yourself. Okay. He claimed a moment to gather himself. I don't know if I believe anything is immoral. Or if it is, then who gets to say it is? Maybe lying to hurt someone is bad, but that's not the only reason people lie. It's probably not even the most common reason people lie. I don't know how to explain it, I guess. I just mean that no one really gets to say that something is wrong. So I'm not going to be the one to do it. She raised her eyes a bit and frowned an impressed frown. Thank you for your answer, Derek. I appreciate your elaboration. I'm interested in your stance, that perhaps my question was flawed, though we are in no place to be moral detectives and judges towards each other. Very interesting indeed. Thank you, Derek. She took pause. What about you, Ash? Is lying immoral? No. Ash? Pants on fire, haha. Pants on fire, haha. What have we said about these one-word answers? Yes and no are powerful words, but they are commands in need of armies. Back it up, girl. Okay, let's say this. You're at home and you're a parent and your kid's at home too. They're sleeping or whatever. And some guy knocks on the door and says, "Is your kid home? I want to kill it." And he's holding a knife and he looks all crazy and shit. And he says it again, "Is your kid home? I'm gonna slit its throat." Obviously you're gonna say no. Unless you really hate your kid or something. But most people would say no, and you lied to him. But does that make you bad? You lied to the guy so he didn't kill your kid? So you're approaching the question with moral relativity in mind. Can anyone here define moral relativity for us? There was silence. Vincent? Moral relativity implies that certain actions are immoral when carried out by some, but not by others. Derek eyed Sophie, who was already looking at him with anticipation of his impressed glance. She just gave him a mixed nod and shrug. Mixture of a nod and a shrug. Nog. Or maybe in Ash's situation, perhaps she meant that certain things are immoral in certain situations, but not in others, when carried out by the same person. Very good, Vincent. A fine explanation. Does anyone understand why we're speaking of here? Murmurs rose. Let's picture someone living in extreme poverty. They were born into poverty. They know nothing other than poverty. Soon they slip into complete homelessness, and their situation worsens by the day. They realize that in order to properly feed themselves, they need to steal. So each morning they do. They go to the local bakery, let's say, and they steal enough food to keep them alive. Now, take this situation and apply it to a wealthy person. This person has no worries in regards to finances. They never need to they never have to wonder where their next meal comes from. But they too have taken up the habit of stealing. They steal food and electronics and so on. Is it possible, or rather, could it be reasonable to suggest that perhaps stealing, in one of those cases, is immoral, while the other one is not? Is there a universal rule? Is something that is bad for one bad for all? No. His voice was so soft that Mrs. DuPont gaze fell on him with the measurable level of uncertainty. Toby? It's not. Mrs. DuPont smiled. Derek told Toby rarely participated in these conversations, so the teacher was glad he said anything at all, even if it was muted and vague. What is not? His breath stuttered under his anxiousness. There's a story in the Bible I read once. I think it's in the book of Exodus, but I'm not sure. And there was a king who was afraid that his slaves might become strong enough to overthrow him and his empire. So he told the women working for him, the midwives I guess, to go out and kill the male babies that were born to the slaves. If all the boys were killed, the population would be weak. And so the midwives, they didn't want to do it, obviously. And when they went back to the king, or to the pharaoh, he asked them how it was going. And the midwives lied to him and said that the slaves' mothers gave birth really fast, that they were so fast that the babies were hidden before she'd get there and kill them. She lied to her king, and in the story says that God looked upon her with favor. So, if you think about that faith, or any faith really, lying is considered bad. But even though it's considered bad, there's still situations where it was seen as good. He thought about something for a moment. I remember that story. Maybe not good, but better than killing babies. Yeah. Vincent began to laugh obnoxiously. Ha 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 ha. Oh man. Vincent? I don't even know. I just thought that was funny. Vincent, what Toby offered was an insightful look into his personal thoughts on the subject at hand. What you are offering is abrasive and rude. Please stop. Yeah, well, I expect nothing like that again in the future. She softened her face and turned her attention towards Toby. Thank you for your thoughts, Toby. Personally, I found this story fascinating. While I admit my specific knowledge of the Christian faith is quite limited, I'm very glad that we have such diverse backgrounds to hear from. Thank you very much. Derek looked to Vincent, whose body was stretched out down his chair, his head reclined against the wooden back. His hands were woven together on his lap, and he looked altogether disinterested. While the conversation was involving it new, Derek found his attention wavering. He could no longer focus on the debate. It seemed wholly trivial to him. Is lying immoral? Why are we talking about this? This place. Everything seemed gray. Glass seemed to pass without force. He sat with no effort and let his muscles fall as they would, sinking into the chair. At one point, everyone rose, went to the front of the classroom, and gathered their notebooks. Mrs. DuPont made her way to Derek's desk and handed his to him personally. She may have given him some loose instructions, but it was lost on Derek. A formal lesson began. What it was about was forgotten. Derek held his pencil, also given to him by the teacher, with a limp grip. He wrote nothing. And I think that just about does it. We've covered today's materials. I'll also remind you of the upcoming deadlines. You should all know what they are. Please have your work in on time. Derek rose slowly from his tight hunch. He looked to his right and left, and then back to the clock. Class is over? Mrs. DuPont drew a heavy breath. I think that is all. Oh, before we go, Derek, please stay behind today. We'll have a little chat, please. Everyone else, you're free to go. The students stood from their seats and righted themselves. Sophie patted Derek on the shoulder. I'll see you back at the dorms, maybe. Just let me know if you want to hang out or anything. I'm in room 307. You'll give Derek information that took me weeks to recon to get. Derek doesn't tell me I have nice elbows. That was once! To be fair, your elbows are pretty nice. Or, oh dear lord. I'm joking! Thanks. I'll probably see you later. Sweet. Later. She picked up her notebook and pencil and walked to the front of the room and deposited them on Mrs. DuPont's desk. Toby and Ash followed closely behind her, and they left the room as a silent group. Derek looked at him. That Toby is something else, eh? What do you mean? What, you don't think he's weird? I don't know him. You know enough to form an opinion on him. If I knew him enough to form an opinion on him, I would have answered your question in the first place. Vincent paused. Well, he is. What? Weird, the dude's weird. Jeez, man, nod and smile. Well, I don't know he's weird, so I'm not just gonna nod and smile. Vincent wrinkled his eyebrows and looked sharply at Derek. So what, you want to be all buddy-buddy with him? I don't know, Vincent. I barely met him. You want to be besties with Toby? Vincent turned from Derek and picked up his notebook, shoving it under his armpit. What? Want to hang out with him and listen to that pussy voice he has? Oh, hi, Sophie. Makes him sound like a pansy man. Yo, maybe you should just get off of him. Get off of him? He's not even here, bro. I'm not on him. Whatever. It doesn't matter if he's here. You're being a douchebag. Yes, you are. So now you're backing him up? I'm just saying, maybe you should shut the hell up. Derek spits his last words out like venom. He lets his crescendo drop into silence. At the front of the room stood a worried Miss DuPont, who was clearly distracted while helping other students. She had been keeping a close eye on their altercation, it seemed. Vincent snatched his pencil off the desk and stormed to the front of the room. His heavy boots clumped against the tiles conspicuously. With a flick of his body, he dumped his schoolwork onto Miss DuPont's desk. Once he had left, Derek turned towards the front and approached her timidly. Everyone had now left but the two of them. No need to look so nervous. Vincent's got a head that's as hot as it is smart. He has a temper and certainly forms his opinions on things quickly. Too quickly, if you were to ask me. I appreciate some of the things you said. Derek shrugged. Didn't make sense. Mrs. DuPont sighed and let her eyes drop downwards. Yes, well, carrying on. I just wanted to get you situated, take you to your room, answer any questions you may have. So if you'll follow me, we can get started. We're leaving the classroom. She led Derek out of the classroom through the winding corridors, and I'm going to save again. Alright, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye!